Let's move on to talk about what's going on at Arsenal. Viktor Gyökeres given the green light to make that move to Arsenal. It's all agreed with Sporting. Medical is set for this player and it is basically done. Julien Laurent still with us here. Jules, they got their guy.
Yes, finally. It took them a long time to get this one done. We knew that since the start of the window, pretty much it was between Sesko and Gyökeres. They looked at both. They initiated talks with both, and both clubs, Leipzig and Sporting. And we said also from the beginning that it's difficult to deal with Sporting, to negotiate with them, because they want every penny. They keep changing their mind. Their president and is quite difficult in that sense. He just wants the value that he's decided for his players, and it doesn't always work like that. But eventually, finally, they've got Gyökeres. They wanted him for the start of pre-season. He's missed the start of pre-season and the first game friendly match against AC Milan, but he should be there now for the rest of it, and then obviously for the start of the season, which I guess is always the most important. We're not sure in what kind of fitness he really is, because he didn't really take part into the Sporting kind of pre-season tour, if you want, because he was on the move and he wanted to join Arsenal for a few weeks now. But at least they've got him. He's going to do his medical, and then hopefully he's going to hit the ground running for them.
So obviously the hope is that he will join up quickly. How does timing affect players when they're not there, Stevie, from day one of the pre-season in a new club and a new setup?
I think a lot of the time that's down to the individual. How coming in late can affect you. You know, if you get a real strong-willed, good character, then he'll just come in and play, and he won't be thinking about not being integrated with the team. However, if you get somebody in who's the type that needs an arm around the shoulder all the time, then it could affect them. But again, as always, when that happens, you don't get the answer until we're 2 or 3 games in to see whether he's actually, does he understand what United are trying to do, Arsenal are trying to do? Does he understand the players around them, what they're looking for from him? Do they understand him? So all of these things that, if he had come in right at the start, by the time the season kicks off, all those fears are allayed, because you've spent enough time with everybody that they know your game and you know theirs. So a lot of it is down to him, but it's certainly not ideal.
No, it's always the sooner the better, right, Šeško?
It is. I'll go slightly differently on Stephen. I don't think it's that big a deal for a player of Gyökeres' age, experience and quality. Now, maybe if you're having this conversation about Benjamin Sesko at 22 years old, you want to come in a little bit sooner. But for somebody, Gyökeres, as I say, a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, I think he hits the ground running. It's well enough ahead of the start of the season that he just slots in, he finds his rhythm rather quickly. I don't think that is as much of an issue for a player of his quality.
You mentioned Šeško there, Jules, and it's obviously something that's going to come up in tonight's show anyway, but when they're looking at those two players, why Gyökeres over Šeško for Arsenal?
It's a different profile to start with. I think Sesko was seen, and rightly so, as not really a lethal goal scorer. He's never had more than 13 league goals a season, for example, whereas Gyökeres is a proper number 9 in that sense, in the terms of being a finisher style, if you want. He's just an incredible goal scorer and finisher. Sesko is an all-around probably better player than Gyökeres. He's a bit like Havertz in the sense that there's a lot of things he can do. He can pass the ball, he's great at pressing, he can link up the play, he's strong in the air, but he's very good technically for his size. He's quite quick. That you have it, but in a way you already have it a little bit with Havertz. Whereas for Gyökeres, that profile of a number 9, of just a finisher in the 6-yard box, one-touch finish, one-time finish in the box, one-touch, all of that, this is Gyökeres. And you don't really have that, because that's not what Havertz is, that's not what Gabriel Jesus is. Even a Trossard as a number 9, or whoever you want to play as a 9, this is not what they are. So I guess in Gyökeres, you just have that profile. And yeah, he's maybe a little bit older than what they would have liked, because he's 27 already, but I think he's got that profile that they were missing and that they needed more than Sesko, who in a way they have a bit of, because Havertz is quite similar.
Yeah, I suppose one thing we do know to Stevie's point, Šeško, is that Mikel Arteta is definitely a manager who can put his arm around this player.
Absolutely, isn't it? And Mikel Arteta certainly has gotten the best out of the players. We've questioned some of the signings, but he's gotten a tune out of most of those signings, a couple of exceptions, of course. And I think Arteta does that. This is a player that they've needed for quite some time. finally they've...
All right, Gooners, gather round because we finally got some proper news coming out of Colney. Viktor Gyökeres is Arsenal. It's done, dusted, and about bloody time too. The Swedish goal machine is set for his medical and will be wearing the red and white very soon. After what feels like the longest transfer saga since we were chasing Suarez with those cheeky 40,000 bids, we've actually got our man. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is it taking so long? Well, dealing with Sporting's president is like trying to negotiate with a brick wall that keeps moving the goalposts. The man wants every single penny for his players, and fair play to him really, but it's been doing our heads in all summer. We knew from day one it was between Gyökeres and Benjamin Sesko, and whilst the young Slovenians got bags of potential, Arsenal have gone for the proven goal scorer, and that's exactly what we needed. Before we dive deeper into why this signing makes perfect sense, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're bringing you all the Arsenal content that matters, from transfer news to match analysis, and your support keeps this channel going strong. We're all Gooners here, so let's build this community together, yeah? Here's the thing about Gyökeres that gets me properly excited. He's a natural finisher, something we've been missing since the days of peak Aubameyang. Don't get me wrong, I love Kai Havertz and what he brings to the team, but he's more of an all-around player, brilliant at link-up play and pressing, but not that killer instinct in the box we desperately need. Gabriel Jesus works his socks off, but let's be honest, he's not burying 20+ goals a season. Gyökeres is different. He's that proper number 9 who lives for those chances in the 6-yard box, the type who can smell a goal from a mile away. The timing isn't ideal, granted. Missing the start of preseason and that friendly against Milan isn't what you want. But for a player of his age and experience, I reckon he'll hit the ground running. He's 27, he knows his game inside out, and more importantly, he knows where the back of the net is. Last season at Sporting, the man was absolutely clinical. That's exactly what we need when we're trying to get over the line in those tight title races. What I love most about this signing is that it shows real intent from the board and Arteta. We've been crying out for a proper goal scorer for ages, someone who can take the pressure off the likes of Saka and Martinelli. When teams sit deep against us, which let's face it, happens every other week, having someone like Gyökeres who can create something out of nothing in the box could be the difference between drawing 0-0 and nicking a 1-0 win. The lad fits Arteta's system perfectly too. He's got the work rate, the pressing intensity, and most importantly, he's got that ruthless streak in front of goal that we've been missing. Remember those games last season where we dominate for 90 minutes but couldn't find that crucial goal? Those days might just be behind us now. So there you have it, Gooners. Viktor Gyökeres is an Arsenal player, and I genuinely think this could be the signing that takes us to the next level. After years of nearly there moments, we might just have found our missing piece. What do you reckon then? Is Gyökeres the signing that finally gets us over the line this season, or should we have gone all out for Šeško instead? Let me know in the comments below.